Welcome back. Okay, so something has been tugging
brewing in your mind,
tugging at your heartstrings.
Because we've come to a point where, as a country, a lot of things just happen, and you know, rather than dwell on them. Recently, okay, since let's do a little bit of a throwback here. My dad always loved listening to the news, so I don't know how your parents were. So once it was 9 o'clock, no matter what we were watching, once it was network news, NTA, you understand? Everybody, no matter what's happening. And then you come and listen to the news, you know. And then you either maybe a neighbor or a friend, they will discuss, the next morning they'll discuss the
last night's news
on the news, or most of the time, you know, I mean, I'm looking like early 90s, and it was complaints, you know. And if we go back to that time, we will be very, very happy as a people, yeah? But looking at it at this time, you know, what would he say if he knew how things were now? This one blew my mind. They came up with, there was this thing about an age for JAM, right? That was how it started. There was a minimum age, that they were going to set a minimum age for writing JAM. And then there was a kick against it now. And then that one was repelled and all of that. And then the next one now, we'll now go to WAEC. And now it is said that from 2025, you'd have to attain 18 before you can write WAEC. Now, children, the learning circle is now faster. The learning circle is now easier to go round, right? But as it were, I remember I wrote WAEC at 16, right? And even as I did, I know some people that wrote 15, and maybe even as low as 14. And children, you know, as time goes on, children are becoming smarter. They're becoming more intelligent, you know. And how is it that you can hear graduates in developed countries, you can hear people at 16, 17, even done with university. We've heard of some geniuses at that who have done that far. And then we are thinking of going so far back that if you're going to be 18 to write WAEC, so that means that if you're going to write JAM now, and then you're going to wait 1 year for JAM result to come out, so you're looking at 19 or 20, right? So that means that before the pikin go enter school, and then for some people we write JAM like 6, maybe 6 is too much. Maybe like 2-3 times. So you're looking at maybe 19, 20, 21. So you become a full adult before you even continue your scholastic pursuit. And I find that really outrageous. Personally, I find that really outrageous. And I'm wondering, what are we doing? Are we doing all we can? Are we fighting? Like, are we fighting to take the future back? It's bamboozling, because I would rather think that education is where, when you look at budgets, and people are putting up budgets together, when you look at defense, when you look at education and all of that, those are sectors that take the highest, that should take the highest when it comes to countries and all that, because you understand that the education of the children today is what will determine how far that country can go tomorrow. And I'm thinking that, so you want a full-blown adult. So by the time it gets to 21, that's when you start thinking of entering university. When by that time, the person's mind should have been formed. And
fully
you should start
developed.
Learning how to, or you should start contributing to society. That's the time that you want to go and start. Then let's imagine now that you've not paid minimum wage, then there will be strike. Then give or take 7-8 years. So by the time you are done with university, you go to almost reach 30. And I really would want to sit somewhere that's a proponent for this and really find out what is in the mindset. What are you even thinking? You understand? What are you even thinking? What are you even thinking? There's nobody, except you went to a private school, there's nobody that finished in 4 years. If you went to a government school, if you went to a federal university or not, you would at least do 5 years. And that is me being very moderate, because even this day I saw, Tio and the other guy, Tio has been in final year for 3 years now. Since I knew him, he has been in final year. It's like they don't want to, for 3 years now. So it has not changed. So you're going to look at 5, 6, 7 years before you are done if you're in a federal university. So by that time, you're going to be 30, or you're going to be close to that age.
So Mike is ranting with a smile on his face.
I'm not ranting. It's not, is this ranting?
And I find it really amusing that in this day and time, in this age, the age in quotes is still a problem, especially when it comes to university. I find it shameful, I find it disgraceful, and yes, I'm speaking to the authorities on this because there are actually a lot of things we should be looking at. Despite all the challenges, despite all the inhibitions, there are still some children that are pushing themselves hard to do better than their peers at their age, and you're trying to cause a form of regression for them. There are many people that have fake birth certificates in Nigeria. Why? Because to gain admission into secondary school, gain admission into university, you have to put yourself at a certain age because the government wants to put a disclaimer out there that they will not be responsible for any young person in the university. So you must be 18 with the belief that you are strong enough emotionally and physically to face whatever challenges you encounter at school. So, to use the English word, I dare say it is balderdash. That we find it amusing, we find it normal to stop children that are ready to advance to the next stage. I'll tell you the story of someone I know very well. She finished secondary school at 13, got admission into the university immediately, was made to stay at home a year by a grandpa who said she was still too young, got admission the following year, pushed her way through to get to school. Now, she was in school by the time she was 14. Now, she's 14 and a half in the university, and guess what? She spent the next 7 years in that university, finishing at 21. Is there an assurance in this country that anybody who enters university at the 18, this glorious 18 we are saying, will finish within 21 and 22 years? Yeah. Is there any such assurance? Let's be honest, there is no such assurance. So why are you driving children crazy? What is a child supposed to be doing in a class that they are way advanced for? What is a child supposed to be doing? Yeah. I find it ridiculous that we are still talking about such matters now. And I find it painful as well. I mean, let's say it was very fast.
Well, quickly, I'll just like to... the minister, Tahir Mamman, that's the Minister of Education, made this policy. But though he said that it is not a new policy, it is something that has actually been, around. But then he's just reinstating the policy and letting people know that this policy exists, and well, now we would like it to be properly executed. He gave quite a number of reasons why he's reinstating the need for this policy, which of course maybe in the second banter we would run through them. So we'll just basically look at just nitpicking.
I saw them, but let's be real, most of
it's a waste of time.
Beg.
But just something I saw yesterday, under 20 competition is going on. There's a South African, the name of the South African, Udeme Okon, full-blown Akwa Calabar man, is leading South African contingent for under 20. I saw another one, Jocelyn Nwamadi, Korean. You know what that means? You are talking about brain drain when it comes to this, the athletics and all that. The people will leave, and they're young people. They will leave, and they'll go and make other societies better.
Maybe the young people around the man, they look like they need to be 18. But it doesn't apply to everybody. It doesn't. Okay. I would have thought it would be edited to be maybe 16 or even 15.
The conversation, of course, continues online, guys. Don't forget to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Let us know your thoughts. The show continues shortly. We'll be right back.